Well, good evening, laddies, lasses, and lassos. Welcome to the click. You smell absolutely astounding today. And don't let anyone else tell you otherwise, but there is a smell that just stands above the rest, a smell that I would love to hunt down. Isn't that right, Hunter? Oh yes, indeed, your sweet aroma, Hunter, just stands out from the crowd, doesn't it, Hunter? Oh yes, indeed. Good news, Hunter. Today, we're gonna do something beautiful. We're gonna look at one of my favorite subreddits. One subreddit that makes you look at humanity and go like, wow, this really makes me feel like my hand should touch my face, sort of like this. That's right, we're gonna look at r/FacePalm, which is a beautiful subreddit. We look at the dregs of humanity and we laugh about it together, hopefully making us feel just a little bit less insane. Because you know what they say, insanity is best shared in groups, or something like that. Enjoy. Mwah.
Bro Lemao, my job hired me with my American name and declined me with my African name. They don't know I'm the same person.
Oh, is that gonna be awkward the first day? Please sign up with the African name and the recruiter's gonna be like, wait a second, we declined this person. I'm the same person. Oh, yes, indeed. The world of recruiting is quite wild indeed. Like, the amount of biases and weird systems that are in the world of recruiting is absolutely insane. I remember they implemented the system, for example, that even if you are interested in making an internal hire for a position, like you move someone that's already in the office just somewhere else, you still have to put out a public application for it to, like, reduce the bias of only doing internal hires, right? But what actually happens in practice, most of the time at least when I've heard about it, is that they still hire the internal person. They just waste a bunch of people's times because it's supposed to be fair or something, and their application's not even looked at. It's absolutely wild. And sometimes it depends on how you look, and sometimes it just depends on our old pal racism. Oh, yes, indeed. You could probably do a really funny prank on the first day, though. That would be hilarious.
I love having an Air Force Defender in the house. Just got back from watching fireworks and our garage door was wide open. I remember punching in the code to close it, but we weren't sure what happened. But my Defender went and got his gun and swept the house room by room.
Wait, so is this your husband or your son? That's a really weird nickname for like your kid or something.
Oh, sweet honey bun cupcake, my little soldier boy, pew pew defender. Oh.
Maybe his name is Defender. Maybe this is just a tragedy. Okay, anyway.
He even yelled, "Clear!" a couple of times. We're all safe and sound, sunglass emoji, but I had to get a picture of him real quick while he was clearing his little sister's room.
Okay, so his little sister's room, I'm guessing this is the son of the family. I'm gonna be honest, going around with a gun, clearing room by room when you have siblings that may or may not be in these rooms unless you know exactly where everyone is, sounds like one of those classic examples where people accidentally get shot. I'm gonna be honest. It is so serious he's going room by room, but so silly she's taking a picture. Someone is either over or underreacting. It's staged. He's posing. I mean, I suppose they could have taken the picture after clearing the house or whatever, but I don't know, this sounds like the kind of instance where you, like, forget that there's another person in the house, for example, and accidentally shoot someone. Yeah, it sounds pretty wild, fam.
Alright, fellow kids, welcome to Trumpy Wumpy Workshop in the library. Today I'm gonna teach you how to draw the flag of ultimate freedom. Oh.
Oh, no. Oh no! Well, that flag doesn't really seem to be in line with the original. Oh my god, we really have to draw a line when it comes to these puns. Color me surprised. At least we can laugh about this online. Okay, should I stop? Do I have one more in me? I feel like I'm really drawing these puns out. Okay, next meme, please. A Tallahassee Police Department officer can be seen on body cam pouring out a sealed bottle of liquor and tossing it in Calvin Riley's passenger seat before arresting him for a DUI. Riley's jury trial begins on April the 5th. That is such bogus. And, like, even if you want to believe this evidence, right, having something spilt in the car isn't even an actual proof that he consumed anything while driving. You could have just, like, driven a drunk friend home from the pub and they spilled something in your seat. You know, this is not an actual proof. You would have to have, like, a breathalyzer test or something like that to determine he was actually drunk. So even if you were to believe the faked evidence, it's still bogus.
If you dislike the updated Warhammer design, then you are a bigot. Hashtag Warhammer. Look at this Warhammer design that...
Is this just AI generated? Is that what this is? Readers added context they thought people might want to know. This image is not from the video game Warhammer. It is generated by AI. When you have to use AI to show what you're birching about, you have already lost, lol. I mean, I've seen this so much lately where people just make up something with AI and be like, oh my god, the AI proves that blah, 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 blah. But of course it's gonna print out what you ask it to do. This isn't proof of anything. What are you talking about? It's so weird.
A 3-day alpha male bootcamp is seeing attendees mocked online for paying $18,000.
I mean, to be fair, the whole thing just seems like a freaking humiliation kink to begin with, so I think it's just more bang for your buck, I'm gonna be honest.
To endure military-grade inspired punishment, like laying on your back and having another man spray your face.
Oh, that came out beautifully. Oh my. I can't believe people actually paid $18,000 for this. There is something about this sphere of content and hyperfixation about masculinity that I don't really understand. Like, don't get me wrong, I've had plenty of male figures in my life. They're like very respectable, competent, quite powerful men, so to say, but I would never find one of them going to an alpha male camp for $18,000. It's kind of the same line of thinking I see with a lot of people online that always claim they're alpha male or they're badass or they follow the alpha male influencers. Any man I have met IRL that I would like classify as an alpha male, so to say, wouldn't spend their time doing this. As another example, I saw a big uptick in comments after the whole drama thing online, and it wasn't on this channel specifically, but it was around the internet, where I saw people being very victim-blaming and be like, oh my god, if this was just a tougher man and did that kind of thing. But the point is that an alpha male, if you want to use that terminology, which is kind of inaccurate and cursed to begin with, wouldn't spend their day pooping on victims in YouTube comment sections. Like, you doing this has already established that you're about as far away from an alpha male as you could be. It also makes me sad in a way, because I feel that there is a vacuum that people like these fill, and they probably fill it for quite young people that find it very flashy and like inspirational, and you know, it's very in your face and it has answers right now and it tells you what to do and it's aggressive and like frick those other people, it's us against them. But the thing is that you're not going to be successful by listening to their advice. So in my mind, it's kind of close to an MLM scheme in that way. It's just a weird thing to hyperfixate about, and I wish people had more role models that were productive in real life so they didn't have to subscribe to, well, this. Millionaire who made himself homeless and broke on purpose to prove he could make $1 million in 12 months for YouTube clicks quits his bizarre social experiment over health concerns. I think he actually also kept his health insurance. I remember reading about this story, which kind of makes the whole thing bunk to begin with, so I remember reading about this story, and I think he made, was it $60,000 or $64,000, something like that in 12 months, which isn't bad, but it's not $1 million, and it doesn't really prove the point. The whole point of stuff like this, like the counter-argument what this person was trying to do, is that it's easier to make money when you already have money. You know, if your entire paycheck doesn't go towards necessities, it's easier to like invest stuff, or start little side businesses, or just, you know, not get broke over your health or something like that. Making money is easier when you already have money. That is a very difficult fact to dispute. That doesn't mean it doesn't take effort to run a business, for example, and it doesn't mean it can't be risky to, for example, start a business depending on the market you're in, but it is easier to make money when you already have money. That's sort of how the economy works. So like an experiment like this just feels kind of, I don't know, like a bit of a slap in the face. What would you ban? Sugary drinks? Food desserts? Neighborhoods with no parks? Morals banned bodegas?
Notably, no one said cream.
Crimes are only banned, Ben! There's minor crimes, Ben!
Oh my god, I can see this playing out during like a press conference. Some politician is standing up there and someone raises their hand and be like, so when are you guys gonna like, I don't know, ban crime? Have you thought about that? Sounds like if Twitter was an actual press conference, doesn't it? Man, that would be a beautiful reality show. Twitter as a press conference. Oh my god, it would be like depressing and funny at the same time.
No helmet, no elbow pads, no knee pads, and no fear. Oh, how did we survive?
This is such a weird argument because the answer is some of you didn't though. It's like the people that say Jesus wasn't vaccinated. Yeah, well, a lot of people died. Maybe not the entire population, but goddamn, we can avoid like the unnecessary deaths, fam. How did we survive? We laid there on the side of the road bleeding until someone came looking for us because we were late for supper. If you survived.
Honey, being dead is not an excuse to be late for supper.
We grew up in a strict family home. Oh my god, that sounds like there's a horror movie, right? When like corpses come back to life and the kid is all of a sudden sitting at the dinner table again. Isn't that a thing? Brings me flashbacks.
Under titta, food's awful and eating sucks. I eat the bare minimum and as fast as possible. I hate eating. I hate feeling full. Men who think cooking makes them manly are cocks, afraid of the cage, desperate to validate the non-existent masculinity.
Afraid of the cage. Oh, it's supposed to be 2 sentences? Maybe?
Imagine how stupid you have to be to find food entertaining.
Literally embarrassing. You know, one of the core principles with being a living, breathing, humanoid being, you know, enjoying food and like the core instinct of eating and the satisfaction that comes with it. No, that's out the window, because you're a beta cuck. Oh my god, is this just like contrarian on purpose? Like, have we gone so far down the road now that we need to on everything to try to validate alpha masculinity? Fellas, is it gay to like food? You're putting meat in your mouth? That's pretty gay.
Biden didn't know that Africa was a country. Very embarrassing stuff.
Newsmax host Rob Finnerty attacks Biden. My god, we're really going downhill, aren't we? Oh my god, the world is gonna be Fallout in a couple years.
Why do women train for ripped abs? It's because they want to look like men. Truthfully, it's gross. Lips, tits, and hips. Men are simple. We want the classic beauty of a feminine hourglass shape. At no time in history did men ever want women with ripped abs.
Hi, historian here. I am comfortable in saying that at no time in history have women ever wanted you. Oh my god. This is another good example of what I mean with like respectable masculinity and that kind of stuff. In my honest opinion, it's fine to have preferences, but going into the world and being like oddly bitter against people who don't happen to fall into your preference, which would really only matter if you're interested in like dating the person, is weird to me. Like, normal people don't do this. Normal people don't bother. You can just let people exist. And claiming that like women who are ripped or toned aren't generally seen as attractive is just like such a stretch, man. Are you kidding me? Jesus Christ, you can just go on Instagram and it disproves this in like 30 seconds. Are you actually serious? r/conspiracy legend anti-vaxxer nurse who injected some 8,600 patients with salt water walks free. Reading a bit more about the case, 8,600 is the people she jabbed in total during her career for COVID, but they could only prove that she tampered with 6 syringes, and her defense attorney followed the defense of she broke some vials, she was feeling embarrassed, and replaced it by saline to not be humiliated. That sounds like a pretty bad excuse. So 6 people thought they were like getting a vaccine and protected against something, but it was absolutely bunk. That's still pretty heckin' bad, bro. As a consequence, she was found guilty as 6 charges of assault, and since there was little harm done proven, injection of saline are harmless, and they could not really prove malicious intent behind it, I find that conclusion really strange, because while the injection itself is harmless, it's just saline, you know, the same stuff you have in drips and stuff in the hospital, it can still harm people if they believe they have been immunized against some kind of disease, but then in reality they haven't. That is incredibly harmful, so I'm surprised that was the conclusion they reached. She got probation and her license revoked. So yeah, the main issue was that they couldn't really prove that she did more than 6, nor was it with the intent of being an anti-vaxxer. Strong suspicion, but not enough to convict. And this was in Germany, by the way. But that is a really weird conclusion. What an odd story, man. God damn.
Raise the voting age to 21. Generation Z is not mature enough at age 18.
Your party is forcing 10-year-olds to give birth. So 18 isn't mature enough to vote, but 10 is mature enough for motherhood. Ooh, that seems convenient, so you can't vote like about being a parent yourself. Maybe that's the scheme all along. I wouldn't be surprised.
I am at the ER with my daughter. She has an asthma attack. Triage told my daughter that since she's older than 11, if they needed to tell them anything that she didn't want me to hear, they will ask me to step outside. What kind of Jesus take the wheel kind of foolishness is this? I told her, those rules don't apply to us, we aren't liberals. She didn't say another word.
The absolute irony of this kind of stuff being for these sort of parents is completely lost on them, apparently. The fact that they posted this so confidently publicly is so incredibly yikes because they're just unaware of it. They ask kids about this so they can talk about, for example, abusive households or SA or any of these kind of dark topics when they're afraid of doing it in front of someone else who might be a perpetrator or an enabler of what is going on. That is what they're doing. They're doing it for the sake of kids so they don't get stuck with bad people. So it's so ironic that you would do this. Fam, That's an applied test. We aren't liberals. Oh, gee. Okay, nice. You don't want your kid to speak to someone in private about home life. That's a bit of a red flag, in it.
Some guy on IG is mad that you can vaguely see veins in my bobs. So now we're criticizing women for, checking notes, having a functioning circulatory system. Got it.
Oh my god, women having a circulatory system? What do you need a circulatory system for, dear lady? So you can just circle around all the pee-pees in town? Probably a quote that exists on Twitter somewhere, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh my god, that could be an amazing game for stream or something. Is this quote an actual tweet or something unhinged I just made up? That is such a good minigame. Let me know if we should play that on stream. Let me know in the comments if you're interested. I am interested. In the Musky Husky biography, Isaacson tells of a poker game where Musk went all in every time until he won. It's an analogy for how Musk, in Peter Thiel's words, understands something about risk that everybody else doesn't, and now he's able to create companies that seemed blahy show more. How did he continue playing after he went all in and lost once? Well, he bought more chips. That's the whole argument, though, isn't it? Like, it's easier to make money when you have money, because, you can afford to take risks. That's... Like, heck, it's the same thing with running a YouTube channel as well. Like, it's way easier once you're past the point of having a bit of a margin. Like, running your own business is so much easier once you get past that point of having to worry about every single cost. Take something as simple, for example, as merchandise I make. Sometimes with my merchandise, you have to print a stock, and that can be quite expensive. I remember, for example, when I printed the pins, the VIP tickets to hell and horny jail and that kind of stuff. It costs several $1,000s to print like a stock of high quality items like that and hold them, and you're not sure you're actually gonna sell it, right? What if something goes wrong? So that's a kind of risk that you wouldn't afford to take if you're just starting out the business, but later down the road when you have a margin, you can afford to take the risk, and 9 out of 10 times something like that will actually pay off, but you're willing to do it because you know that you can also shoulder the risk in worst case scenario. So I don't know, this is weird. It sort of plays on the principle that you go to a casino and you bet $1, and if you lose it, next time you bet $2, because then you will always bet double of what you had last time, and eventually you win and actually make money. But in practice, the difficult part is that you don't have infinite money. Once you get to that point, the problem is kind of solved, no?
My daughter in college texted me and asked where to go get air in her tires. I told her the gas station, and I swear on all that is holy, her response was this.
I only have $88 in my bank account. Will it cost more than that? Oh my god, this is so sad, man. Our expectations about costs are so messed up. Legit questions in today's times. They would charge you for breathing if they could. Ooh, there is a Doctor Who episode when they actually do. It's very funny. In California, the law says that the air at gas stations has to be free. The machines still have quarter slots, so you can pay if you like, but all you have to do is to go inside and tell them to turn it on. And they have to. Same with the water. Yeah, I don't think I've ever paid for doing air in my tires at a gas station. That is typically just like a little schlong by the side of the station you can just mess around with. But it wouldn't surprise me if it evolves in another direction. Yippee! Oh, in before it becomes a subscription service. It's gonna be a subscription service, isn't it? I'm calling it. In 10 years, having air in your tires, you're gonna pay a subscription for the air itself. It's a glorious future. Effeminate weak men are desperate to defend birth control because it's the only way they can get laid. You're pushing 40 while unmarried with 0 kids. I am pretty sure people are pushing birth control because they like naughties but not having kids. Yeah, like most naughties that is being had in the world is like pretty unproductive if you counted a number of kids per naughty session, if I put it that way. Or is the original tweet trying to point out that, unless you're so incredibly alpha popular male that every single woman in the world just wants your offspring, and that's why birth control makes you cuck, because because if you were a real man, every woman would want to be pregnant with you all the time. Holy sh**, have these people ever interacted with humans outside of Twitter? Jesus Christ, man.
Last month, I called 911 on myself for feeling that I wanted to fall off the edge of the flat earth, so to say. And the bill with insurance is over $2,000. The 15-minute psych evaluation alone was $400. Oh, and they still sent me home that night. It cost me $2,000 to not do something bad. America's healthcare system is so fricked up.
I got forced to do this. They sat me in a room alone for 10 hours, told me to get a therapist the last 30 minutes and that everything should be free. Then I get a $2,000 bill just for being told to get help before even looking for a therapist. Large portion of my worries before that was lack of money. Literally just made my life worse. Reminds me of the cable company from South Park. I was actually reading a post by someone a few days ago that was talking about going to therapy for depression, but the conclusion they came to with the therapist is that they don't actually suffer from chronic depression. Yay, all the stuff they were sad about and feeling depressed about were actually tangible things. So their life just sucked, they weren't actually depressed. And this reminds me so much of that. It's if your stress is financial stuff and then you get a $2,000 bill for nothing, whoop-de-doo, you just literally made it worse. It's like giving a depressed person depression pills. This is so stupid. And it's an insane amount of money too. Like when I have gone to sessions in the past to talk to people to handle stress and that kind of stuff, it's kind of healthy to do. I think it has costed about $150 per session. So, $2,000 will get you like a solid, like at least 10 sessions, maybe more. And they charge them for just sitting alone in a room and then telling them to get good. Wow. World War III begins. Feminists doing clothes and hanging them up and washing hands and sweeping floors. This is literally the opposite of what happened in both previous world wars. Ha, somebody's holding his history book upside down. Women were not active service in the USA, but in Europe where the fighting was worse, they did see combat. I think most notably would be as pilots in the Soviet Union. Yeah, and also snipers, and also plenty of partisans like throughout Europe and conquered regions. In the USA at least, they did join the workforce, if not the military. Yeah, that's where the whole thing comes from, the we can do it kind of thing, We still have shirts with that slogan around today. It's kind of nifty. Oh, it's a little Twitter poll. This must be wholesome. Was as terrible as portrayed in the media? Yes, 37%. No, 63%. 45,000 votes. I just hope this is botted or a really, really biased little community, because my god, fam.
My 15-year-old son plays basketball, and he told me his coach gave him 15 push-ups for fooling around. How can I stop his coach from abusing him like this in the future? Oh my, how can...
Doing push-up during workout session, okay? Next week is gonna be like, he asked my son to do warm-up jumping jacks before playing basketball. Abuse! It's abuse! In some instances, it's good that our awareness regarding abusive behaviors and that kind of thing is kind of on the rise. But in some cases, it really do be a buzz where the people are just tossing around, isn't it? My god, you did push-ups during a sport exercise. So abusive. A Band-Aid, our tone.
Our tone? Really? Woke bandages? This is 2023?
Courtney! Oh my god, they're unironically called Courtney. Courtney, you need to get real problems in your life. God, go get in a situationship or something so you can at least have some kind of problems to worry about in your life. This is not a problem. I don't know, I buy cartoon band-aids, like a grown-up. I'm in my 30s and recently got a flu shot. The technician used a Spider-Man band-aid on my arm and it was awesome. You see, that's how it is. You only grow up in certain ways, and that's how it's supposed to be.
It is so cringy to see a middle-aged white man wearing Nirvana band t-shirts like they're trying to fit in with young people. Shouldn't you have your own style from your own era? This tweet has been deleted. Oh, that's so stupid. That is so stupid.
Take 4 years apart. Same gas station, different president. Look, 1.85 and it's 4.08.
I wonder what happened in March 2020 that made gas so cheap. I can't think of anything. Must have been pure chance. Yes, indeed. And the rotit, imagine being white and using your whole PP doing not this. This post has been deleted. Spending all that time thinking about PPs. Time well spent, I suppose.
2 stars. I ate here for the first time tonight. The brisket was probably the best I've ever had, but I found an entire leaf in my baked beans. I cannot make this up. Barfing emoji.
So, we're glad you enjoy the brisket. I'm guessing you've never seen a bay leaf in your food before. If you see them in the future, you can rest assured that it's a sign that someone spent time and effort making your food from scratch. We pride ourselves on making everything fresh in-house, no cans ever. So if you find unique spice, blends, and herbs being used in our foods, that includes bay leaves. Again, I'm glad you enjoyed the brisket, and I'm sorry the leaf surprised you. This is the most pleasant way I've ever seen someone just calling someone else a uncultured swine. This is beautiful.
California hiked the minimum wage to $20 per hour for fast food workers this week. You'll never guess what happened next.
March 29 prices, $565. And April 1st price, that's an interesting date to pick for your serious analysis, $590. Wait, that's it? That's 25 cents. That's like nothing, fam. Okay, a cheeseburger, $3.95 is now $4.10. Okay, so 15 cents. This is nothing, fam. You have a bigger price increase per year just due to inflation. What are you so upset about? Oh no, look at people making a living wage, but my burger is 10 cents more expensive. One of the funnier examples you could have gone with. Yeah, indeed, this is absolutely wild. I don't really get these people's argument, right? Like, are you arguing that someone working full-time in fast food shouldn't be able to make a living wage? I mean, in that case, people are just not gonna work fast food anymore. There's gonna be no one to make your burger. It's weird, fam. Like, you would expect that in a functioning economy, any job that is a full-time job would at the very least pay for your necessities. You know, one place to live, basic groceries, that kind of stuff. Like, that's the bare minimum. Why don't you want that? And the price difference is like nothing. I find it so hard to believe that these people are genuine in their beliefs. Why do you care about 10 cents on the burger? It increases more from inflation every year. Come on. Does educational background matter in a relationship? Substantiate your answer. Somebody delivered a pizza that we did not order, and we were required to sign a paper. I wasn't around. My woman signed, and that's how our house was sold. Wait, no, way. I don't think it would hold in court, as it was signed under false pretense. Yeah, and I also think like housing documents and stuff are more than just like one single random page. This just sounds like really low-level fraud to me. They made like a freaking document, one page in Paint. I now own your house. Sign here to agree. Nah, fam. Come on now. To be fair though, I have heard horror stories in couples that are really bad with money. Like, I've heard horror stories where the husband is addicted to investing in crypto and just lose everything they own. I've heard other stories when they like get scammed with really obvious things but keep doing it over and over and over again because maybe the fifth Nigerian prince is legit. So I have seen horror stories about it. I'm not sure if I believe this one, but maybe it's also like in a different country. That's also very possible. So maybe the legal system there is just completely whack. Or more whack, rather, I should say. It can always get worse.
Saving just 50 cents a day will get you $18,250 in a year. Let that sink in. Let's do this.
That's mathematically impossible. That would only be $182.
It would actually be $18,025. Damn!
2 days would get you $1. How would you get over $1,000 in 365 days? Ooh, speaking of family members being amazing with finances. Nice. Crazy times. Never forget that people actually did this. You see, they wore masks to pool. They were hugging in plastic. They were kissing with masks on. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. It just sounds like if this was like peak pandemic, you probably shouldn't have gone to a dance like that. If you're like literally licking the inside of your mask and pressing it against someone else's face, I'm not sure if the mask is gonna do all that much, fam. You probably just shouldn't have gone in the first place. Mesky husky, we live on a stolen land by we, I mean us mammals. We stole it from the dinosaurs. Oh, okay, I can see the joke that was attempted here. Very funny joke, haha, but like dinosaurs were pretty like super dead by the time we came around anyway, fam. So nah, it's not really comparable to the debate you want to compare it to. So, no. Just in, Musky Husky confirms that X will begin charging all new users a sample fee to post, like, bookmark, or reply. I'm gonna be honest, with how bad Twitter has gotten, I mean, it was bad before, but now it's like, oh my lord, they should be paying me to use it. That's how bad it is. What is this? You think I'm gonna be more enticed to use it by having to... No, it's trash.
Our words on MMA Twitter really thinks this dude is pretty. You say you're gay, bro.
Is this another just muscle mommy? Is that what's going on here? Okay, What is it with these dudes? And like this gay panic about like, oh my god, this woman is toned. I feel something. It's the gayness coming along. I have to make a tweet about how women that go to the gym are actually dudes. Quickly, before the gay takes over.
He kissed the girl, that's so gay.
Yeah, bro, kissing like a soft, nice-smelling girl, that's so gay. Real men kiss other men. Thick, hairy bears, that feels like kissing sandpaper. That's how you know you're a real man. Okay, so anyway, next post, please. From selling your car to foregoing chemotherapy for your dog, this person has tips on how to beat inflation. Bread too expensive? Try killing your dog and selling your car. Booyah! We got them life hacks for those millennials. Heck yeah!
Silly millennials, can't afford a house. Have you just tried killing your dog, perhaps? It's so easy.
Biblical prophecy claims the rapture is coming April 23rd. What's the time of this recording? Today's the 26th. Oh gee, I guess we missed it. Numerologist says. Okay, well that was a bust. Okay, so this is a conversation between a wife and her husband. Let's dig into it, shall we?
You been breastfeeding? You know how I freaking feel about that.
What time are you coming back?
I don't know if I am.
Why? Are you mad at me?
Yes.
What did I do? Is it just the breastfeeding?
That. The feelings it gives me and how I finally understand that you truly don't respect me.
I do respect you. I just thought we could compromise about the breastfeeding, talk about it. If you don't like seeing it, maybe I can just do it in a different room.
Ooh, what an absolute man baby.
Well, we didn't talk about it, you just did it. And it's not about seeing it, I know it's happening. I am done.
Done?
Let me know when you're being discharged and I'll be there.
Like you're divorcing me?
You go behind my back and do something I'm stressed about not doing. That's no different than lying and shows how little you respect me.
About breastfeeding your child. I think you should be more concerned about like your child being well fed and your wife doing well after pregnancy and birth and all that kind of stuff. You know, this seems like a weird priority. Are you jealous that your own baby has access to your wife's bobs? Is your masculinity threatened by a baby drinking milk? Oh my god.
I wasn't meaning to disrespect you. I just wanted to give Wilder,
is that a tragedy? Maybe.
Breast milk since he was born early, and I know it's the best thing for him with the antibodies and other stuff he'll get from it.
He is not a preemie. He was born at full term. It's still unneeded. He's still bigger than I was when I was born. And you could have always asked the nurses for a pump. It's proven scientific fact that booba milk is no better than modern formula.
I know, but the benefits of the booba milk still outweighs the formula. Latching helps drop the milk better than the pumps.
Yes, the benefits to where I'll never be able to look at you the same way again. Sloot, because feeding your baby.
What do you mean? You think I'm a bad mom for breastfeeding?
I think you're a bad wife. I think you don't respect me. I think you took a joy away from me. I think a lot of things.
Oh yeah, your brain think a lot of things and they're all dumb. Took a joy from you. I don't understand what you mean. Formula can still be used?
I enjoy your boobs.
And they're mine. And mine alone. I'm not competing with some baby about the boobs. God.
Now they've been in other man's mouth.
He really sees it that way. I was just joking. That's legitimately how he feels about it. That is so unhinged.
I now no longer enjoy your bubs.
Yeah, your bobs have been soiled by another man.
This baby. Jeesh.
Just Wild Earth, not another man's.
He's a male, and your son. That makes it incestuous in my eyes.
What would it be the same if it was a daughter? Or would that be both gay and incestuous? What would the logic that be? I would love to know this man's logic because it's fascinating. Not that I care about it. He's an idiot, but you know, what would be the logic then?
It's not like that at all.
Oh my god, are you actually kidding me? Incestuous. That is so insane. This person is insane.
I'm not saying anything I haven't told you before. I wasn't playing.
I know
You're a birch for making matters worse.
I'm sorry you feel that way towards me.
I doubt they're gonna let me bring y'all home, so good luck figuring out a way to make that happen.
I just felt it would be okay to breastfeed Weiler, and we could compromise the situation where you don't have to be in the room.
You don't get it. I told you that we'd hunt here.
Oh, they are a little tragedy family. Heck yeah.
That was a compromise. You made then, I still feel the same way about it. After you heal and get on your feet and we're able to afford your own place, move out. Until then, no matter how long it takes, the bedroom is all yours. I'll set up the air mattress in Wilder's room tomorrow. So frick it. Frick you. We're done. I'm going to talk to your lawyer about 50-50 custody because no matter how much I hate you,
I mean, you're literally insinuating wife is into incest because she dared to breastfeed her own baby. Honestly, just showing these texts to a lawyer is probably gonna make them not want to touch your case, fam. This is insane.
You can stay at the house for as long as you need. I'll sleep in Wilder's room.
They made a report because of what happened the first night I stayed in the hospital. Posts are meant to bring forward a dialogue and discussion of the problematic sentiments shown and not in support. Okay.
Not what they said. They didn't know anything about the last week. They said because you told them this morning you didn't feel safe with me in the room and wanted me to leave.
I just didn't want to fight over me breastfeeding.
Frick you! I told you when we fought over it with Huntier, I would leave you if you didn't wait,
So he has done this before. So he did this with the first baby too. He was fighting over the breastfeeding thing and threatening to leave, and now when she dared to breastfeed the other baby, as you do, then he's like legit doing it, and he's like talking about like custody and that. This person is insane. Divorce them and get custody of your kids. Jesus Christ, this is gonna be horrible. If he's unhinged about this, what else is he gonna be absolutely unhinged about in the future? My God, parents that get jealous of their own kids are a special breed of unhinged. And I don't think this is gonna stop with the wife either. He's probably gonna be horrible towards the kids as well in some way or another. This is an unhinged person. Jesus Christ. Stairs in CPS. This came out of my niece's arm. Mamas, do not let your babies be tagged like animals and tracked by the government P-words. 5G is the Antichrist. Don't do it. Pizzagate is real and this is how they get your kids. That's why you can't go inside the immigrant camps at the border. There are no immigrants, it's just Wayfair's back stock. Hey guys, I had my COVID shot today and I rubbed the injection site and this 5G antenna tracking device came out. Just wanted everyone to know so you aren't being tracked like I was. Okay, so this thing, which I think you would probably notice because that's like this big, just was sticking out of your arm like an antenna. This one is actually clever, kinda, but what the frick. I took this from an HVAC sub I follow. Even if the OP wasn't lying, this is physically impossible to do. What you're looking at is a Schrader valve from a pressurized system. You have similar valves in your bike tires. I thought it looked familiar. Yeah, so if you unscrew like the cork on top of your tires, this is like the piece that is underneath that goes into your tire that you plug on top of when you're pumping it. I have long since grown weary of this kind of lying, and then I see this. Can't stop it though. The crazy is impossible to contain once it's been let loose on the internet. Yeah, sadly, and then the algorithm feeds them to each other and they find each other, and all of a sudden you have big groups actually believing that you're being injected with bicycle pumps that are somehow 5G antennas. What would a 5G antenna even do? Like practically sync your playlist to your veiny Bluetooths? It's wild.
When I was 6, my sister was half my age. Now I'm 70. How old is my sister?
35. Let's have a hard one next time, please. It says half, so half of 70 is 35. Wow, go back to school, guys.
Why is it always the people that should go back to school that tell everyone else to go back to school? It's just a Daniel Kruger effect, isn't it? Let's see how many angry comments I get about that one.
Why would my boyfriend want his side girl to have his baby?
Sit down. This is going to hurt. Brace yourself. She ain't his side girl. You are. Why would you be in a situation where like your partner is having babies with other people anyway? What kind of situationship is this? And why are you bringing kids into it? Throwback to when the car insurance lady asked my mom for front, rear, and side views, but she didn't get the memo. Yeah? That felt weird. Thanks, Ava. Hope those works.
Susan, you look very nice, but I need pictures of your vehicle.
Oh my God, look at the layout of the messages. This is old school. This is an old post. This is like 2009 kind of stuff. I told my mom about something very serious and told her not to tell Dad. She told my dad and then told him not to tell me. And my dad called me and told me he knows and told me not to tell Mom. So basically all three of us know but can't tell each other. Okay, so he obviously knows and he told his mom, but he can't tell his mom that he knows that the mom told his dad that then told him. So he's keeping the secret that she told Dad. And Dad knows the serious thing, but Mom doesn't know that he knows that Dad now knows it because she told him and he told him. And Mom doesn't know that Dad knows, so... This is amazing. Prayers out to this boy. He is 15 years old and was kidnapped and the woman was 23. And I understand it's a hard thing to go through, but you were posting all them guns? Wait, what?
He'll be fine, Lemau. He's a boy. He should be grateful someone likes him enough to touch him.
Oh my God, Twitter, you have done it again. Oh yes, indeed. Jesus Christ, isn't that absolutely beautiful? As if it wasn't hard enough for victims to come forward as it is. People like you make it way worse. Congratulations.
Discipline is essential. I'm just going to leave this here. Make kids great again.
It's like a spanky thing, a paddle with an American flag on it. Wow. MAGA, we care about the safety of children. Also, MAGA beats their children. Yeah, it's kind of wild, isn't it? It's kind of wild, isn't it? They're very eager to scream about, like, oh my god, the kids and blah, blah, blah. Except when we beat them. Healer sisters, hashtag Bluey.
Imagine being a freaking 21-year-old and making fan art of a kid show about freaking dogs. Grow the frick up.
Aw, my first hater.
No, really, why are you 21 years old watching Bluey?
You're right, 21-year-olds should be watching the news and documentaries only. What was I thinking? Oh, that's such a beautiful reply. Hell yeah. Just wait until these people hear that sometimes you'll get like a cartoon band-aid after getting a vaccine even when you're adult. Ooh, it's gonna blow their mind.
Are ducks birds?
Yes. But how? Warm blood, lays eggs, feathers, beak, wings.
By that logic, chickens are birds.
A Japanese man noticed food disappearing from his fridge, so he set up a security camera and found out a homeless woman was living in the top compartment of his closet and has been there for more than a year. Where does she go to the bathroom? Where does she poo?
When he says you're not getting pee-pee tonight, but you already put ZQL in his wine, so yes you are, girl boss, smiling. You see that, fellow girl bosses? The punchline is assault. Just quirky girl things. Yes.
Well, gee, that was absolutely unhinged and awful. I do hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed having you here, especially you, Hunter. Yes, indeed, you got me through this video feeling a little bit sane. You see, insanity is easier when shared among your friends. Very good. I hope you have an amazing day, night, time, or whatever time is you live, and I will see you in the very next video. Take care. Mwah.